What's up, YouTube? Check out the letter C. Today, that's what we're doing. I'm gonna start by blocking it out again. Give it the clean little blocks around the letter. Start working with that. Give it a little bit of flav. I never know when I'm gonna end up with. So right now I'm just blocking out that C, that basic C letter. Alright, I'm liking that. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of that bottom layer. Now I'm gonna start flushing out this. Pop that little serif on top. Clean out that backside. Let's make it a little bit more blocky. Give it that nice little hard angle at the top. Just working with it. See how much I bring it past there. So I mean, you never end up knowing where you're gonna end up at. Get rid of that. Okay, now this is kind of the C that I want to work with, but I'm still gonna clean it up just a bit. Chop that down. Don't bring it so dramatic. We'll see if that works. I might actually take that out. But you know, when you're drawing and you're trying to design, you want to have fun with it. You want to explore your options. You don't want to just stay, oh, I made that line, now I have to stay with that line. No, you just have fun with it, kind of work it. I'll get rid of all that. I didn't like that. So let's go ahead and start over. Kind of going down the same path. I'm going to bring that out a bit. I don't know if I'm going to keep that little beveled edge out there. I guess it looks alright. More dramatic right there. Remember, this is all you. When you're doing your letters, I'm just trying to show you the basics, how to get there. Your creativity needs to shine through and create your own style almost. But you know, artists feed off of each other, so it's not really like you're taking styles or you're kind of implementing your own style with stuff you learned. I mean, if you're not learning, you're not growing, and you're not growing if you're not watching and paying attention to other artists around you, you know? Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Still using that soft brush with the hard tip. Working that a little bit. Make that a little bit closer. It's kind of too thick down there. There we go. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay. Alright, take it back a little bit. So, you know, I can't explain how much paper, how much papyrus I've went through in my day, just practicing, not just letters, anything I'm drawing. Okay, we're gonna give it the 3D action, taking it from the left this time. Now this is one point that I'm coming to from every angle. You know how I do it. So once I have all those angles down, I'm gonna drop the opacity on that. Now start doing that 3D, popping in that 3D. You want to stay parallel with your lines. See how it's parallel right there? Stay parallel so it makes sense. You'll notice if it's not going parallel, it's going to start looking wonky. The 3D is going to look off. See, both of my lines coming down are parallel, both of my lines going to the right are parallel. Let's get rid of those and continue on with the show. Just gonna start working around there. Again, folks, you know, I'm just doing the alphabet. I'm rocking the alphabet tutorial right now. You know, you're gonna see these letters pop up, boom, boom, boom. We're dropping videos all the time, but I'm not gonna stop there. I'm doing more tutorials on like characters or just things I'm drawing. You know, maybe not so much along the lines of, you know, teaching, but just showing my process. And regardless, if you're watching a process of somebody on how they're doing it, you'll pick up little tricks, you'll pick up little things that you can improve on your stuff or add to your stuff or whatever the case is. Just immersing yourself in different art or different videos, collectively being around artists while you draw, going to different functions. You can check out my little vlogs. I like to go do different stuff, be just involved with the art scene, you know. Now I'm messing around with my background. You know, ain't feeling that. Stick with what I like. Figure out kind of a marquee style that looks good with this one. Now the reason why I like to do the marquee, like I said in the B video, is when you're doing the background, or if you're doing color and you're using the magic wand, whatever you're doing, it just makes it a quicker process. If you put it on the bottom layer behind your outline, you're able to put in the color really quick. You don't have to worry about covering up lines. It's just it's a faster process, gets you to your goal faster. You're not wasting a bunch of time zooming in, trying to make sure your color's not going over those lines. You know, of course, if you're doing paper, stuff like that, you know, like we said before, it's a little bit harder. You know, for a how-to video process, it just seems the smart way to go is on the old digital scale. So I'm approaching my background a little bit different this time. I'm kind of letting it show through onto the actual color of the letter. You know, just playing around, just trying new things, seeing how they look. Going down that pastel alley, you know, those colors just really vibrant. Alright, let's bust another marquee right here. I'm gonna drop that layer below this salmon color. Look at that blue, man. That's a crispy blue. It's cold, I'm shivering. Shiver me timbers with that blue. Like I said, when you're creating, when you're drawing, you want to explore. You don't want to be stuck in the same old thing all the time. You'll progress way faster. You'll learn more things if you're exploring different techniques, different ways to do things. I mean, even what I'm doing now, doing these videos, this is a whole nother ball game, you know, and I'm hoping that, you know, my subscribers, people that want to see these videos are kind of growing with me, going through the process, building together. I mean, if you're not trying to grow within the art community with other artists, I mean, what's the point? Why are you doing art? You want to collaborate, you want to share your experiences, share your knowledge, try to make everybody gain and grow together as a community. It's an art community, man. You got to share the love. Now, like I said before, when you use this magic wand, it's cool, but for whatever reason, it's probably because it's not vectored out, but the color doesn't want to go right to the black line. So, of course, I'm going to have to go back later before it's all said and done and actually touch up and, you know, do my thing. But that's when the letter's coming together anyways, and you start seeing it really pop. But ow, looking clean. I mean, when you're just messing with one color and you're just changing the tones of it, you can get a wide spectrum of the same color. And just, I mean, even if I took out the salmon color and used another different tone of this blue, I mean, you can make the whole picture just with those kind of, that blue spectrum, that cool spectrum. Now, usually, you know, if you're drawing like a, I don't know, if you're getting into like, you know, landscapes, or, you know, you're trying to use a whole lot of depth in your pictures, warm colors advance and cool colors recede. Just a little pin drop in the mind that you can keep for later. If you're drawing something, be like, why does that look like that? Maybe if I try this, it will pop a little bit more. Just remember that. So it's kind of vice versa on this case, because I got my blues coming forward and my reds kind of going back. But it's kind of, all bets are off a little bit when you're doing, you know, graffiti style art, because of the way that you can play around with the letter and the 3D and the funk of the letter. Just, it works. But I mean, if you're doing other stuff, you want to kind of pay attention to your color scale and how you're using colors. See, you see that little bit around the black? So, I mean, personally, I think moving forward, I'm probably not going to use that magic wand. It just creates a little bit more work than I'd like, you know, because I have to go in and make that cleaner. You know, just getting text messages while I'm trying to record. Let me go ahead and turn that off. But you got to clean up those little edges, of course, now, because it didn't fill in all the time. It's okay. You live and you learn. Learning, growing, moving forward. You see that little wheel pickup? It's I'm using that color picker. Like I said, that's like your best friend, dude. Especially, you know, let's see, I have at least 6 colors on there. So if I'm moving back and forth, it's just a quick eye, boom, pick the color, boom, use it, eye, boom, boom, boom. You can just keep going back and forth. So I'm bringing that middle shade and I'm coming down the letter. Make a little couple designs. You could just make something really clean, super easy if you just start looking at it in like a different light. And like I said, when you have to explore. You'll never know what looks good. You have to start exploring your drawings. That's why, like I said in the last video, if you're not feeling something, like, don't throw it away. Don't just start from scratch again. If you're not feeling it, you know, just continue to use it for a minute. I mean, there's sometimes you get to the point of no return and it's kind of like, okay, I've kind of exhausted my efforts in this piece. Let me go ahead and let me trash that. But you're going to learn something from it and hopefully not do it again. Okay, so you can see this is coming together. It's starting to look clean. Back to business. Let's start working out other parts of the C. I mean, already looking clean. Some of the lines are a little wonky, you know, the sketch lines are still there. Still got to bold them up, clean them up, which if I was rocking this on paper or rocking it, you know, wherever, paint, whatever, like, you would just start cleaning it up. You would go in and you would clean up little areas that you may not have noticed before, or just had a bookmark in your mind, like, okay, I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to clean it up when I come back to that part. So that's kind of what you do when you're going through the process. You don't have to get all wicked and crazy with it. I mean, literally little bits and pieces of style here and there just really make your design come to life. Alright, let's start working on this 3D a little bit. Cleaning up the lines, cleaning up the border, making that C pop off those background colors, that salmon and that little teal. This little color palette's looking dope. Alright, so I got my black together. Let's go ahead and start working on this outer part of the C, cleaning it up a little bit. I kind of start with a general idea of how I want it to look, but like I said, when you start messing around and you start like just being creative with it, not worried so much, you come into happy little mistakes. I don't know if Mr. Bob Ross said that or not, but I'm pretty sure like you'll find happiness in stuff that you didn't think was there, for sure. See, so I'm giving a little depth right there. I'm blackening it in, cleaning it up a little bit. Go back to that salmon, cleaning it up. See, simple. Now, when you're doing this, I mean, it is unforgiving when you're using, you know, Prisma and paper, but you take more precautions when you're using that kind of medium. You know, obviously you have a little bit more leeway if you're working with paint or digitally. Obviously, you know, the classic pen and paper, you got to map it out a little bit better before you start and stop, and what you're doing, everything's a little bit more permanent in that fact. See, so I'm liking these little shades, these bar shades that are coming in. It's giving it a real like nice feel. You know, as we go through the alphabet, I'm going to try new stuff. I'm going to add new stuff that I haven't been doing on these previous letters. Like, it's just, you'll see, it's just a process of growing and developing different kinds of, you know, style onto your letters, or ways you're doing the letter. You're exploring, so that's what we're doing here. Every letter's going to have something different, something new, some kind of something little that's going to be different from the next, with similarities throughout, of course. Getting the top of that C down, shading it, giving it some more depth. And usually what I would like to do, I like to get the inside color, the 3D color, then I'm sharpening the outline even more, bringing it more to life. Okay, gonna start working with this outline a little bit. Start really funking this C out. Chiseling out the top right there. There we go. I'm gonna outline this with the salmon color. Kind of brings it all together anyways. It's looking spooky. Finally getting it cleaned up. Coming towards the end. Hope you guys like the letter C. You know the letter D is going to be dropping here soon. Stay tuned throughout the whole alphabet. You know, every time we're going to do something new. We're going to talk about something a little bit different. Of course, you're going to hear a lot of points that I've mentioned before, but it's all love. It's all just trying to get your brain wrapped around of how to get these letters down and how to approach it. Create your own style, kind of feed off of it. And I hope you stay tuned for the next one. All right, peace.